All right, welcome into the show. The Alliance's Akeem Hunt's going to be on the program. Kareem Hunt is a Brown. Kyler Murray wants to play football. We'll get into all of that with Jason Canfora and more when we start right now. All right, a huge day of news in the NFL means we got to go to the best NFL reporter in the country. Jason Canfora, my colleague here, joins me live on the show. Jason, appreciate you. Kareem Hunt and the controversy has led him to Cleveland. John Dorsey had a relationship with him. How surprised should we be or not that this is the team that decided to take a chance on the talented running back?
Yeah, I don't know that anybody in the league is shocked by this. John Dorsey has been willing to gamble on players, take character risks, put himself out there a little bit in various situations over the years and various incarnations as a general manager and executive and a scout. He knows Kareem Hunt dating back to first time he met him at the University of Toledo. They obviously drafted him in Kansas City when Dorsey was there. And this is a buy low proposition. Look, we saw them last year sign a running back, right? Carlos Hyde, draft Chubb in the second round, turn around and trade the veteran running back for some draft picks. So I just think this is one more sort of person, if you will, in that arsenal of players that they have going there in Cleveland. I don't know that he's there all season. I don't know that he's there past the trade deadline. But somebody was going to sign Kareem Hunt. Various teams thought seriously about placing the waiver claim on him, even in the hours really after the emergence of that video on TMZ. And I'm not shocked, even though they already have a great backfield, that the Browns make this move.
Jason, when do you actually think we'll see him playing for the Browns next season?
Well, I think we'll see him in the preseason, and then, the way these suspensions work, there'll be a certain point in time where he's got to leave the team and stay away from the facility and everything associated with the team for whatever it turns out to be, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. It's awful difficult to predict how the NFL handles these matters, but he has interviewed with the league already. He's complied with everything they've asked him to do. Unlike the original instance when they didn't talk to him, the league spoke at length with him. I'm told the league feels like he's headed in the right direction, that he's fulfilling all of their requirements, what they would want to see him do in terms of counseling, in terms of mentorship, in terms of doing service in the community. And, there has been an expectation in NFL circles for really within a week of the video coming out that Kareem Hunt was going to play in 2019, that he would be signed probably shortly after the Super Bowl, and that whenever that suspension ends, he'll be an NFL player again.
All right, Jason, since we got you, I got to throw a Kyler Murray question your way. Murray announcing today football's his true love. That's what he's going to pursue. I am sorry to the A's in your organization, but this is the route I'm going. Where do you think this young man's going to be drafted? What's his legitimate ceiling in the NFL?
I think he's going to be drafted in the first half of the first round. This is not a super robust quarterback draft. This is a kid who, frankly, NFL teams weren't paying a lot of attention to this year because no one saw this coming. He didn't see it coming. His dad didn't see it coming. The people close to him didn't see it coming. He wasn't talking to any baseball agents. Scouts were going to Oklahoma. They were looking at other guys on that team. They weren't spending a whole lot of time chatting up the quarterback, getting to know him, doing due diligence on him because everybody thought he'd be headed to spring training with the A's before the combine came around. Now, because of that great season, because of the buzz, because of the interest, because of the quarterback landscape, there aren't going to be five QBs taken in the first 32 like a year ago. I think he's in a really good spot. I don't think he's the first quarterback off the board, but if things go well at the combine, go well at his pro day, you got Miami, you've got the Redskins, and then you've got some other teams at the back end of the first round who have been looking for a quarterback of the future for a while. Those other two I mentioned really need a quarterback of the present. I think he's gone in the first half of the first round.
JLC, a big day in the NFL, a lot of news. You're the guy we wanted. We appreciate you making time. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
All right, great stuff by Jason. As always, you just heard his perspective on Kyler Murray. Here's Murray's decision in his own words after a lot of thinking, a lot of thought, a lot of speculation. As you can see there, Murray has decided that this is what his passion is, what he's wanted his entire life, and he is moving forward to try and be an NFL quarterback, and good for him. And it's not like this is some kind of decision where there's nothing on the line. It's not just a shot at a baseball career. It's a whole lot of money Kyler Murray is going to give up, drafted by the Oakland A's. They let him play football last year. Nobody saw this coming, and as my friend, former colleague at the Kansas City Star, Jeff Passan, pointed out, that is real. That ain't chump change. That is real money, and that's a lot of dollars he both returns and money, more than $3 million you see there, that he will not be entitled to on March 1st. And so it comes down to this. Is it the right choice? And my perspective the entire time here on this show, on the radio show, is that Kyler Murray had all the leverage in the world. He didn't need to listen to Scott Boras, who obviously wanted him to play baseball. Didn't need to listen to NFL fans or NFL GMs. He needed to figure out what he wanted to do, whether it was pursue baseball, pursue football, or try and be a Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson type player and do both, which obviously we've seen before, and that's what he's done. Talent has all the leverage in the world. Kyler Murray, a remarkably talented guy. And this will sort of become clearer as we get to the combine and we start to see him a little bit more. And frankly, and Jason Canfora, Jason just hit on this, as NFL teams start to ramp up their process of evaluating him, because no one thought this was going to happen, but he's going to rank pretty highly among quarterbacks. So our own Ryan Wilson here at CBS Sports and CBSSports.com has him as the second best quarterback in this draft. I've rolled a lot of GMs and former GMs onto the radio show, and they've said anywhere from 1 to 2 or 3 for a lot of folks. Excuse me, Ryan Wilson has him as the third behind Drew Lock. Go Missouri. That's bad on me to forget my Missouri Tiger in there. But Baker Mayfield was a guy that wasn't projected as the top quarterback in last year's really full draft, and he worked his way to that position. There's no reason Kyler Murray can't do that. As you know, Murray put up much bigger numbers, much better numbers than Baker Mayfield. Won that Heisman Trophy like Baker did. And there are some NFL comps. Yes, he's not a very big dude. He's small, probably 5'9", maybe 5'9.5". But the Russell Wilson comparison's one that's gained a lot of traction. So we'll just have to wait and see where he goes and what he does as we count down to the combine. But at the end of the day, and very few people are blessed with the ability to be a remarkable baseball player or a remarkable NFL player, that he had the choice, that he took the time, that he got to make his own decision, means it can't be the wrong decision. Now, if he had asked me, which he didn't, I would have told him to go in the NFL. You won't know this name, Bubba Starling, which is exactly the point. Several years ago, Bubba Starling had the chance to be the starting quarterback at Nebraska if he went there as a freshman. He was projected to be a top quarterback when he eventually entered the NFL draft, and his hometown team, the Kansas City Royals, drafted him with a high pick in the NBA amateur, or the MLB amateur draft, and he languished in the minors. He got that signing bonus. He never made it above AAA. He can't hit a curveball, and you've never heard of him. That's the risk that Kyler Murray would have run. There is guaranteed money now in the NFL. People are looking for quarterbacks. Size, his stature is no longer something that limits you. It's the right decision because it's what he wants, and it's the right decision, frankly, because the path forward to playing and getting a chance and making a whole lot of money is absolutely there in the NFL. Do not be seduced by the signing bonus in baseball. It has derailed other careers. Very mature of him not to let that do that to him. Kyler Murray, future NFL quarterback, I think could be a very successful guy. Speaking of successful NFL stories, the Alliance of American Football kicked off this past weekend. It was really good. There were some amazing things going down, some trick plays, and a guy who participated in all of those, Akeem Hunt, going to join me from the Alliance here in just a minute. Welcome back into New York City. Bill Reiter with you. I'm in a great mood because we still have football. Thank you to the Alliance, and excited to talk some football right now with Akeem Hunt, Orlando Apollo's running back. Had a huge day, 10 carries, 73 yards, a trick play we'll get into in a 40-6 domination over the Atlanta Legends. Akeem, congrats, and thanks for being here, man.
No doubt. Thank you for having me. Glad to be on here.
So how did it feel to kick off the season and to kick off the league on such a high note for you and your teammates?
Oh, it felt great just to be back playing on the football field, like coming off of an injury. For me, just me speaking for myself, it felt great being back on the field. being a part of a team that loves to win, as you can see, and just being a part of a team that has a great coaching staff that loves to put points on the board, and just to drive out the enthusiasm in all our players and the motivation that goes in day to day that people don't see it or that the fans don't see through our practice or whatnot. All the people coming together just to build this league is just it speaks volumes for everybody that's on the playing field that has so much passion for the game. And like you said, football does not stop thanks to the Alliance League and thanks for uniting all this together.
Yeah, Akeem, I know as a fan, me and a lot of my buddies were looking forward to watching the product. We thought it was great. How did it feel to be playing in an actual game? What did you make of the Alliance as a participant in day one?
Oh, it felt great playing in the game and being a part of it. Like I said, it's a great experience, and I can't really explain too much like of how I'm feeling of being on the field and playing football because, like I said, I grew up playing football, and being a part of this team is pushing me because we have a lot of great talent on this team, a lot of speed, as you may see or whatnot. But like I said, it's been great so far, and I hope it's just gonna keep escalating. So
the offense put a big number on the scoreboard, and you were involved in a little Philly special type play. Let's take a look here. Let's refresh our memories. One of the best plays from the weekend.
Well, going in, we knew that it was in man coverage. We knew they would be in man coverage, so we just dialed up a little speed sweep to the left, and then I'll pitch it back to Jalen, and the quarterback went fake like he's about to block for Jalen, and then just ease on out behind the coverage, and it worked.
A lot of big names that are part of the Alliance, and certainly Coach Steve Spurrier, a legend, as big as they come. Just for you, what's the experience been like to be coached by Coach Spurrier?
Oh, the experience it's been fun. It's like a learn and teach type of thing. I'm learning his ways, and he's learning like all the players around him ways, and he's finding ways to put people in best positions to show their talent on the field. And like I said, I'm learning a lot from him because I've never been like in like a gun and run offense, and I'm learning a lot of like the different mismatches that we can draw up on the board for different players, putting players in different positions to do different things and just showing their versatility. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, you played in the NFL with the Texans and the Chiefs. What's been the difference of gameplay so far between the NFL and the Alliance?
Oh, the gameplay so far it's the same. Like the first week, it was a little bit slower just because everybody is just knocking off the first week jitters or whatnot. But as it goes on, it should pick up like into playoff time because I feel like it's more so like midway where players has been training and whatnot, coming out of training camp, and it's going to get faster. So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, one of the things that was really cool, I think struck me and struck a lot of the people who came was coaches are mic'd up, the officials' decisions are broadcast on review. It kind of brought us into the game a little bit. As a player, how do you feel about what is a lot of transparency on the field during gameplay?
As a player, sometimes I have tunnel vision, so I don't hear anything. But like the crowd, as far as the crowd, it was a great crowd response for the first night, and I'm looking forward to it growing every week, just so we can just keep the fun in the game. And a lot of people back at home said that they felt like they were actually in the game. So the Alliance is putting together a great league, and I'm very excited.
It feels like just sitting at home watching that the refs might be letting you guys play a little more. Something that's made the rounds on social media was that huge hit in the San Diego-San Antonio game. Does it strike you the same way as a player? Does it feel like they're going to let you guys have a little more room to play football than in the NFL?
Yes, they're gonna have we're gonna have a little bit more room just to show our characters, because like it's a lot of people on the field, and they're different players, different characters, and we'll get to show our passion and show what we bring to the table. And I'm glad that the refs are letting us play, just to play a little bit more physical, because football is a physical sport, more so an extreme sport, and I'm glad that they're keeping the flags out of it. But I mean, flags are necessary, but football is football. So I'm glad that the AAF is allowing us to play football.
All right, you got to win the first one to win them all. You guys are 1-0. You play San Antonio in week 2 on CBS Sports Network. It's Sunday, 4 Eastern. Those of you watching home, 1 Pacific. Now, they held a Mike Martz-led offense to only 6 points. You guys put up a big number. How do you prepare for San Antonio and try to repeat the offensive success you had in week 1?
Like I said, we took care of Atlanta. Now it's back to the drawing boards. Got to focus up and just take it one day at a time, like we did last week. We knew the game plan going into the Atlanta game, and we executed it. We didn't execute it as well as we should have. Like I said, we still drawing on the board and preparing like we should, and just take it day by day as a team and just gel together, and we should come out victorious again.
And Akeem, last question for you. I really enjoyed the time. What for you is your personal goal? What are you hoping to get out of being part of the Alliance?
Oh, what am I hoping? Just to be a part, like I said, be a part of another team, bring great energy to the team, and just be a team player, a player that keeps other players in tune with the game, a player that wants the best out of everybody, just hold everybody accountable by holding myself accountable. And being a part of this league it means so much to me because, like I said, the passion of it, and I got hurt. So this league is just another upcoming league that will do well because it's a lot of big names in this league, and it's not a joke of a league. As you can see, it was a great product put on tape, and it's just going to keep growing and growing from here on out.
All right, Akeem Hunt, really appreciate you being on. On behalf of sports fans everywhere, thank you for giving us football to watch after the Super Bowl, man. We appreciate you.
No doubt. Thank you all for watching.
All right, Akeem Hunt. AAF was good. AAF was strong. We're going to keep it rolling inside the numbers on a little NBA, that new look Sixers team, when we continue here in a moment. All right, welcome back into New York City. There it is. Behold the new look 76ers. You see it there. Tobias Harris is part of the mix. And the Sixers, at least on paper, are extremely dangerous. So let's go inside the numbers and see what the numbers tell us. We start at the number 77. Since the addition of Harris, Philly's starting 5 has accounted for 77% of the team's points over a 2-game stretch. That is 200 out of 260 total points. Small sample size, but very impressive. Next up is the number 11.4. With their new starting 5, the Sixers' overall plus-minus is up 11.4 in their last 2 games. Philly beat the Nuggets and the Lakers by a combined 30 points. How about 47.8? Since the trade deadline, the Sixers are shooting almost 48%, 47.8% from 3. That is the best in the league at that time. That is over 8% better than the Golden State Warriors. 11.7 is next up here on Inside the Numbers. Philly's improved by 11.7% from beyond the arc in these past 2 games. In that stretch, their starting 5 is shooting a combined 17 of 34 from 3. 26 and 13 is next up. Joel Embiid is averaging 26 points and 13 rebounds since Tobias Harris joined the starting lineup, which stays almost exactly par with the season averages. And finally, the number 3, in the last 2 games, Ben Simmons tripled his attempts from beyond the arc to 3 total for the season. Good job, Ben. He shot a 3 in both the Sixers wins over the Nuggets and the Lakers. Now, we'll say this. We'll keep going inside the numbers on these guys. It is impressive. They have been fun to watch. But just remember, whenever there's a new sort of mix on an NBA team, there's almost always a honeymoon phase that lasts 1 to 3 or 4 games. The real test is going to be a couple weeks from now when it's not quite as new and fresh and there's still only 1 basketball to go around. I'm a skeptic. Doesn't mean I'm a doubter. I'm just a skeptic about Harris coming in and really the price the Sixers paid, but we'll see. Before we sign off and hand things over back to the guys in Fort Lauderdale, going to update you on what's going on in the world of sports before Sportsline in 30 minutes. Want to point out again, Manny Machado, Bryce Harper, still don't have anywhere to go when spring training starts in a couple days. So let's give you the odds. You see there, we'll start with Bryce Harper. It is the San Francisco Giants who have the best odds. They are 1-1, even money, baby, to get Harper's services. And friendly reminder, this is why you put money down on September 19th. The Giants were 15-1. So you Giants fans who foolishly put money down, not so foolish. Padres at 5-2, which is interesting. We'll get to why in a minute. Phillies at 4-1. Dodgers at 15-2. Nationals at 10-1. My Cubbies nowhere within sight. And then there's Manny Machado. He is by far likely to be a Yankee. Not 2-1. That's 1-2, as you can see. Then Machado will be here in New York City, up in the Bronx. But the Padres in the mix at 4-1, which means the Padres have shots that are reasonable at both Machado and Harper. They have a great farm system. What an interesting combo that would be. The White Sox at 5-1 and the Phillies again at 5-1. So we'll keep you updated, of course, on if and when and where two of the more talented guys in baseball decide that they want to play for the next several years for a ridiculous amount of money. Again, Bryce Harper, most likely going to be a Giant according to the odds, but they've been shifting for the last 2 or 3 months, and it looks like Manny Machado going to be a Yankee, which is where most of us have pegged him throughout this entire process. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out on Writer's Block. Thank you to Akeem Hicks. Appreciate him. Thank you to Jason Canfora, my colleague at CBS Sports, for jumping on last minute to give us some insight and an insider's perspective on both the Kareem Hunt signing and the fact that Kyler Murray wants to play football. And thank you for hanging out here on the show. We're back tomorrow, same time, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. We'll see you then.